Maru is a lonely yet famous loser who stopped acting after his mother was relegated to spectator mode in an accident. After being spurned by his childhood sweetheart, he pursues a career as an actor. As a result, he attracts the attention of popular girls, including his hero Riz. It all began when Maru was heading home from school and noticed his classmate Kachi watching the sunset. She recognizes him as Maru, and the guy is surprised she remembers his name despite his appearance and lack of charisma. She recognizes everyone from her class and warns him not to come here seeking for sloppy toppy. Maru's interest in her novel prompts her to inquire about his thoughts. Maru's inner monologue suggests he should improve his pole technique. So, after some thought, he informs Kachi that he simply adores her novel. Hearing this, Kachi relaxes her guard and gently thanks him, admitting that she has worked really hard to reach to this position. Maru has never touched a woman in his life, just like you. This is where he finds love for the first time. After the summer break, Maru overhears guys discussing Kachi's appearance in the magazine. Maru's friend Kai asks if he'll attend the confession festival, but Maru understands he doesn't want to cause emotional pain. He is an Ohio Rizzler, juggling shotties 7 days a week. Maru recalls Kai being caught cheating before summer vacation and isn't as popular as he pretends. Kai is certain that every woman wants to get back shots from him. Maru teases him by asking who he would confess to if given the chance. He responds with Kachi's name. Just then, Kachi enters the classroom, and several of the males begin discussing the size of her melons. When confronted, she expresses her hatred for dirty-minded individuals, referring to them as the scum of the earth. Maru is satisfied because they expected it. Kai discourages him from pursuing her since she is brilliant, gorgeous, and famous, while he is insignificant. Maru thinks he and Kachi get along well because they met last winter and reside nearby. When a girl begs to copy Kachi's notes, Kochi shreds them up in front of her, humiliating her. She takes new notes in the library while crying, unconscious that Maru is watching from behind the bookshelves. Kai advises him to ask Kuroha out instead, as he is protective of her and may be willing to accept a loser like him. He reminds him that Kuroha may simply be interested in him since she has known him for a long time. Maru admires her courteous and respectful behavior. Kuroha arrives and finds it amusing when Maru compliments her. She leans into him and expresses her admiration for his attractiveness, causing him to blush. Zeroa's subscribers become unhappy as they believe Maru is pursuing all of the hotties in their class. Maru attempts to flee, causing Kuroha to realize he has been avoiding him since she invited him out. Kuroha requests a private talk with him when the other boys attack him. When asked if he would like to go out with her again, Maru declines despite their shared interests. Kuroha claims she was merely playing with him to observe his reaction. Maru becomes frustrated because he believed she was genuine. Kachi tells her pal she's going out with Abe, and the entire class is startled to learn about this new development. Kai comments that Abe is a rising actor. Maru leaves class early, disappointed, as he realizes his chances of getting laid are slim. Kuroha joins him as he sits by the river, depressed. Maru tells him to leave because he does not want to rely on others. Zeroa reassures him that he only asked him out because she lost a dare, and they remain good friends. When Maru admits he knows she is lying, Kuroha embraces him from behind. Maru ultimately expresses her dissatisfaction with Kachi's behavior, blaming him for letting him go and starting a new relationship. Kuroha suggests taking revenge on her by disclosing that she never liked her in the first place, allowing them to stop pretending. Maru's portrayal of Kachi getting her pipes unclogged by Abe on their first date annoys him, despite his reservations. Eventually, the character becomes inspired and agrees to avenge the loss of his first love. During supper, Maru notices Abe on a talk show discussing his new drama, but shuts it off since he suspects Abe took his prospective body pillow. The following day, he meets with Kuroha in the workshop to develop a plan to make Abe lose all his aura. He believes their split will negatively impact both parties, and Kachi's reputation will suffer as a result of plagiarism. Zeroa believes that seeking retribution will leave him feeling empty, thus he should opt for a more satisfying alternative. Maru expresses his desire for Kochi to confess to him, stating that it would make him extremely happy. Kuroa proposes pretending to date Kochi to make her jealous and potentially change her tough girl persona. Despite loving the proposal, Maru advises Kuroa not to sacrifice herself for his sake. Siroa is content with her phony relationship because it allows her to spend time with her love interest. Maru's stress causes him to sweat profusely, which Kuroa takes advantage of. Maru eventually agrees to the plan, and Siroa suggests they kiss to seal the agreement, which causes him to tumble off his bench. He asks Kuroa if she's lost her mind, but she leans toward his face and says a kiss won't hurt. Kuroa encourages Maru to focus on the present moment rather than worrying about the future. However, Kochi's image begins to play in Maru's thoughts. He pushes Kuroha aside and flees like a virgin loser. After asking for Abe from his friends, he learns he has no vulnerabilities, which frustrates him. Despite his belief that Abe is hiding something, the individual confronts him. When Maru inquires about his purpose, Abe explains that he has come to see a talented kid actor and a rival. Maru admits that he was born to a stuntman and an unsuccessful actress, which earned him a show place. Seeing him perform made his mother very happy, so he continued to do it to please her. Abe is perplexed as to why he left the sector 6 years ago, despite his exceptional performance. He recalls his father admiring Maru for weeks after they worked together in a play. Abe, dissatisfied with his lack of recognition, planned to become an actor, attend Maru's school, and applaud his chick in retaliation. Maru is so angry that he grabs him by the collar. Cautions him against making rash decisions or risking expulsion. Maru becomes frustrated and questions why Kochi would date someone like him in the first place. Abe explains his intention to confess to Kochi at the festival, and accepting in front of the entire school increases Maru's chances of dying as a virgin. Maru meets Kai and agrees to participate in his performance. Kai recognizes the importance of a strong screenplay for acting success. Maru is too frightened to approach Kochi, who they believe can write a great script. Kuroa appears and captures everyone's attention by pretending to be his lover. Kai encourages him to speak with Kochi, who first declines praise due of her recent fame. She is willing to assist him because she admires individuals who push themselves. She exchanges contact information with Maru and texts him later that night to discuss the play. Kuroa visits his residence and informs him that her sisters are wanting his cuisine. Hiroa offers to assist with cooking, but Maru advises her to avoid the kitchen as her meals are Gordon Ramsay's worst nightmare. That's disgusting. Kuroa also observes that the area is disorganized, and Maru claims it is because he spent the summer with his irresponsible father. Kuroa discovers an old picture of Maru and a companion while cleaning and inquires about his identity. Maru discloses Guy's identity as Shiro, the son of a drama sponsor from his past. Shiro promised to compose him a story and invite him to play the lead role. Maru receives a call from Kochi while staring at the picture, but quickly hides it and walks to his room. Kuroha panics when he answers the phone and wonders where he left the vacuum cleaner. When Kochi learns this, she assumes he's on an in-house date, but instead of being offended, she says she's fine with it and suggests they meet alone in the library tomorrow. Kuroa suspects Kochi of attempting to influence him by exchanging numbers and calling her. She suspects Abe is also involved and may be planning to embarrass him later. Maru tries to disrupt their plans by performing in the play, but Kuroa questions his ability to perform. Maru expresses gratitude for the confidence boost, but knows he can't back out now or face regret. Kuroa believes that even if he fails, it's a win-win situation because he's still stuffing Aiden down there, making the guy nervous. He counterattacks Kuroha by pretending to kiss her chin, but she knows he doesn't have the balls because of this. Kuroa leans against him, causing his North Pole to rise. However, the guy is saved by a text from Kochi, who reveals she has finally written something worth reading. The next day, Maru practices acting with Kai, but falls due to a lack of courage. Later, he awakens in the infirmary with Kochi by his side. She gives him a portion of what she wrote last night. Maru is thrilled when she suggests they play at the Confession Festival in front of a large audience. He casually holds her hands and thanks her. She removes the script and requests payment to view the remainder, a common phrase used by her mother when approaching strangers on the street. There has been emotional damage. Kachi mentions that she used to watch him as an actor, but Maru advises her not to have high hopes as he is no longer as good. When asked why he wants to perform on stage, he said he simply wants to return to acting. She asks him what occurred on stage and offers him payment for the script. Maru tells him about the drama he was in, which propelled him to sudden celebrity. The next year, his mother landed a significant role in a sequel to the play, marking a turning point in her previously unremarkable career. However, during the shoot, she was hit by a car and died from a head injury, which devastated Maru. The drama was meant to be cancelled after the incident, but Maru screamed out that his mother's job needed to be completed. He convinced the producer to finish the drama, which became a huge success in the industry. Maru's acting career ended as he was never approached by the director again. Kachi was moved to tears by his story and gave him the rest of the script after receiving payment. As she walks home, she remembers she was a useless fool years ago. Watching Maru on TV gave her confidence. Kachi is the daughter of the director of the well-known drama about Maru. And when they met at her place, they quickly became friends. Maru enthusiastically agreed when she informed him that if she ever wrote a story, she wanted him to take the lead role. She wrote various stories for Maru to play in. However, her father informed her that she would not be able to visit him again once his mother died. Maru mistook Shiro for a boy, however she is actually a girl named Shirakachi. She believed Maru had abandoned her, so she ascended to popularity to exact revenge on him. After years, she learns she's upset since Maru was her first love. She despised him for many years. One honest chat was enough to make her want to jump on his pogo stick. Kararoa instructs Maru to interrupt Abi's stage performance and grab the attention, followed by his girl. However, she feels Kachi is involved and intends to reject him publicly to cause emotional harm. Despite the risk, Maru decides to start practicing tomorrow. Kuroa encourages him to do whatever makes him happy and wishes him good luck. The following night, he begins exercising with Kai, unknowing that Kuroha is concerned for him. On the festival day, Maru and Kai encounter Abe in the halls. Abe is confident about his confession. Kai later concedes that the thought of revenge is ridiculous, but he supports Maru because he knows she is a virgin. Following that, he puts on a yukata to serve at the cafe and waits for his turn on stage. Kuroha appears and tries to charm him, but is unsuccessful. Kai informs Maru that he has been visited by Kachi, dressed in a green jacket and brown cap. Maru recognizes Shiro's attire and approaches Kachi, but she refuses to reveal her name and tells him to keep his distance. Maru expresses gratitude for Shiro's attendance at his play, but Shiro laments about his lack of visits throughout the years. Maru recalls pledging to act in one of Kochi's stories, causing tears to well up in her eyes. When Maru inquires about Shira's activities, she confesses that she began attending school shortly after his disappearance. She reveals that she worked on her weaknesses and achieved success as an author last year. To Maru's amazement, she gently walks down the steps, explaining that she did this so he could acknowledge her and tap it from behind. She ultimately pulls off her cap and introduces herself as Kachi, revealing that he had mistaken her identity all along. Maru is shocked, but admits it disturbed him when he assumed she was a male. She worked hard to get some melons and buns. She was looking forward to seeing him at school, but her heart was broken when she saw Kuroa struggling to lift him up. Maru apologizes for causing hurt, but Shiro agrees to let it go if he calls her by her first name. Shiro explains that she opted to expose her identity now to bolster Maru's confidence for his upcoming performance on stage. Shiro later encounters Kuroha, who confesses to having known her identity since seeing a picture in Maru's house. Kuroha says Shiro can't win Maru over despite revealing her name, as she has bigger buns. She meets Maru and attempts to hide her envy, but the guy can tell she doesn't like Shiro. Kuroha cowers in the corner with embarrassment as he compliments her on being upset to get his attention. Later, they explore the event and complete NPC side tasks until the closing ceremony. Siroe says she was opposed his return to acting. If this makes him pleased, she will offer moral and verbal support. Maru punches him in the face and informs him their relationship has been reset, allowing him to clap freely. She accepts her fate, even if he decides to date Shiro, and leaves with a grin on her face. During the confession festival, many NPCs express their love in front of the school, but Maru hides in the back, like a loser. When his time comes, Kai asks if he is prepared, and the man replies that he is born ready. Abe's arrival on stage elicits a reaction similar to Justin Bieber's in 2013. Abe dedicates a performance to Shiro and begins dancing on stage. Maru soon joins him, making Shiro pleased. Maru outperforms Abe on stage, causing him to leave. Kai arrives with a microphone and announces Maru's confession. Maru confesses to Shiro that he had been in love with her for a long time, but was heartbroken when she began dating Abe. He took this stage to get retribution on both of them, but now recognizes his true feelings. He admits to Kuroha that he wants to clap instead. To everyone's surprise, he says she has been his entire support system for years and want to pursue their relationship further. Kuroha rejects a proposition in front of a microphone, making the guy look like a clown despite having the right face. Abe later confesses to Kai that Shiro is like a sister to him and that she orchestrated the situation to get Maru to confess. She wanted to exact revenge on the guy for not visiting him for years. However, when she saw Kuroha confess to Maru, she decided to date him instead. Shiro refused to recant her statement out of fear of appearing weak, despite Abe's request. Abe, who appreciated Maru's acting skills, was pleased to see him return to the stage even though he had to play the bad person to settle the score. Hei inquires about Koa's rejection of Maru, to which Kai responds that it was because he had already rejected her. Despite her desire to repeatedly press the jump button on his joystick, she felt compelled to take revenge. But now she truly regrets her comments. Shiro, on the other hand, is in love with Maru as well. Maru confessed to her opponent Kuroha, disrupting their growing relationship. She is also experiencing misery. Finally, Maru, despite having two shawties waiting up to taste his lollipop, will die a virgin. The next day, Maru has a reoccurring nightmare about being rejected by Kuroha. Kuroha, on the other hand, is lying in her bed and blaming Maru for the predicament. Her initial goal was to accept his confession, but the need for revenge won out in the end. Shiro is in bed with a plush Maru, but yells at it for preferring another female after assuring her he loves her. Despite this, she still loves the guy and will let him smack it from behind whenever he wants. Later, Kai walks into class and finds all three of them wallowing in despair. Maru is summoned to the faculty room by the speakers, and Kai shares that his dancing video has gained media attention due to its virality on YouTube. Even his rejection was announced to everyone on the app. Maru is now renowned as the guy who received 1 million rejections. This has become so popular that even discussion shows are discussing it. Some hosts plan to invite Kuroha on their shows as well. Maru puts Kai in a headlock, and Kai admits he simply assisted him to come back into show business. A brown-haired chick enters the class and clings to Maru, as Kuroha and Shiro watch in desperation and remorse. Maria, a well-known actress, expresses her longing for him after his retirement from acting. Kuroha and Shiro interrupt Maru's admiration for her work and want an explanation. Maria refers to them as rejects and pledges to make him forget about them. Maru admits that Vaya used to work in her agency and taught her acting skills in addition to caring for her. She declares her love to Maru, further complicating his already difficult situation. Maru simply orders a pizza and ignores the situation. He even forgives Kai for uploading his video, knowing that it will eventually help him return to acting. Kai explains that he was able to sneak a pizza into school owing to Rina, a busty redhead who resembles his mother. Maru's attention is drawn to her jiggle physics as she discusses her role as the school's handywoman. He asks if she let him hit it and becomes disappointed when she says no. She mocks him for believing he can score with his chicken bone body, exacerbating his frustration. Kai has known Rina for years and relies on her expertise to do tasks efficiently. Shiro cautiously approaches the guy and, encouraged by her friend Meiko, asks him out. Meiko clarifies that she just wants him to accompany her because her father wants to monitor his progress. She welcomes him to her home, but warns him not to acquire any false ideas. Maru scolds Kai for uploading her video without permission and promises to chastise him later. Kuroha then approaches him and expresses her actual thoughts. Maru develops PTSD from rejection and hides behind Shiro. Crowd is saddened, but Shiro enjoys the situation since she believes she has won the battle for Maru. She informs Kuroha that Maru is uncomfortable with her presence and advises her to avoid him until he feels better. Kuroha exits the classroom with tears in her eyes. Maru receives a call from Kai while skipping stones, informing him that the press has left his house and to check on Kuroha when he arrives. Kai asks if he dislikes Gurova, but Maru responds that he doesn't, citing his actions towards her as justification. Maru's fear stems from his lack of understanding of her true feelings, despite their long friendship. After the call, Kai approaches Kuroha and relays all Maru said, attempting to bridge the gap between them. When Maru reaches his house, he discovers Maria dressed as a maid who drags him in and asks if he wants to get his willy won't or eat first. Maru is astonished and wonders how she obtained the keys to his residence. Maria reacts with a smile. She adds that she received the key from his mother and planned a lunch with all of his favorite dishes. Maru recalls fond memories of his mother's cooking and expresses gratitude. He understands she is the one who persuaded the news reporters to leave him alone. He is fascinated by her popularity while being a troublemaker. Maria says it brings back a lot of memories and that he is the reason she is who she is. She expressed a desire to meet him once he retired, but lacked the guts to do so due to their painful separation. After seeing a video of him dancing on stage, she realized he was still the Maru she loved and the only one who could heal him. Maru requests assistance and presents a card from Hadri Pro's CEO, Hardy. Aunt Nina was the agency's CEO until Hardy temporarily took over due to her illness. Despite her speedy recovery, Nina chose to enjoy her life and did not return to the agency. Hardy viewed Maru's video online and requested Maria to persuade him to return to showbiz. She sends him a second card and asks him to give it to Kuroha, as Hardy is also interested in her. Right then, Kuroha, when his sisters Midori, Aoi, and Akane arrive at the door, he instructs Maria to hide. When he wonders why they're here, the girls explain that Kuroha has amnesia. Turns out she's acting as. She has an extra chromosome and eats items she typically dislikes. Just then, Maria reveals herself and Midori. After Kuroha rejects him, he begins to think she is the rebound girl. However, when Maru presents her, girls instantly start swooning over her after seeing her on television. Maru informs Maria that these girls are Kuroha's sisters, and because they lived next door, they always behaved like his own sisters. He begins introducing them one by one. Starting with Midori, who has the largest melons, is a touch violent, and plays professional tennis. Next up is Oi, a first-year student who is a gentle and bashful angel. The final one is Oi's twin Ain, a prodigy who completed level 1 of the Global Mathematics certification, is a genius. Altogether, together with Kuroha, they are regarded as the colorful sisters, with each being crazier than the other. Maria believes they are technically her sisters, and she asks them to call her Nissen. When she clings to Maru, Midori pulls her away and tells her not to claim the boy for himself, because he is also their brother. She informs her that she will never call her Nissan, but Maria says she planned to share their photo on her social media profile. Midori is tempted. Thank you for watching to this point. This is not the end. For part 2, don't forget to like and subscribe. We got other interesting anime recaps for you. Choose the left or the right video.